ในสายตาของสื่อมวลชนต่างชาติที่ติดตามสถานการณ์การเมืองในไทยวิเคราะห์การเมืองในไทยมาไม่ต่ำกว่า10ปีก็ระบุนะคะว่าผลการเลือกตั้งในครั้งนี้ก็ช่วยจัดเฉดสีของประชาธิปไตยในไทยให้มาอยู่ฝั่งประชาธิปไตยที่มีมากขึ้นโดยเฉพาะเมื่อเทียบกับประเทศอื่นๆในเอเชียตะวันออกเฉียงใต้ค่ะดิฉันคุยเรื่องนี้กับคุณมาวันมากันมาคาผู้สื่อข่าวของนิเคอิเอเชียและขอให้ประเมินสถานการณ์การเลือกตั้งผลที่ออกมานะคะคุณมาวันก็บอกว่าจริงๆผลที่ออกมาแบบนี้ถ้าเกิดขึ้นในประเทศอื่นๆก็คงจะฉลองกันมากแล้วนะคะเพราะว่าถือว่าเป็นการได้ชัยชนะของประชาธิปไตยแต่คุณมาวันเองก็เตือนด้วยนะคะถึงความเสี่ยงที่จะตามมาในอนาคตอันใกล้ค่ะดิฉันเริ่มด้วยคำถามที่ขอให้คุณมาวันประเมินและคิดอย่างไรกับผลการเลือกตั้งที่เกิดขึ้นค่ะ
The first impression I have is what really has happened on what happened on Sunday. Some analysts are describing it as a political earthquake, and I think that's a legitimate observation. The center of gravity in Thailand has really shifted into the camp of the democratic, progressive, liberal section. Because if you look at the total number of votes, percentage of votes that just Pheu Thai and Move Forward got, it's over 60%. This is, whereas in 2019, they got 40%. This amounts to an absolute majority. Yeah? And in any other country around the world, when you have this kind of outcome, the very next day after the elections, you will find a lot of celebration, emotions expressed on the wave that they rose. Yeah? So today we have Kun Pita talking about a coalition. I mean, that's a positive step to bring these parties that were on the democratic liberal camp together. But Thai politics is very unusual, right? We are still not sure what's going to happen during this phase of political transition.
Marwan, you have been quite familiar with Thailand. You have been following Thai politics for quite a while, probably more than 10 years. What's the risk that could have taken place after this, as far as you can see?
Well, see, Thai politics based on the 2017 constitution is very anti-majoritarian. If you really look at the constitution, it's like the Amat who drafted the constitution after the coup fear democracy and fear popular sentiment. So they have built all these traps and almost shackles to prevent the voice of the people really being achieved and really for creating their own government. So what we're going to see now is sort of a black hole in Thai politics, whether the people's will be recognized and Kun Pita leads a coalition to form a new government, or they will be subject to a lot of threats that have been inbuilt to prevent democracy prevailing.
Regarding policy of Move Forward Party, it's about 112, Article 112, Least Majesty Law. And last night, Kun Pita also said that he would keep his promise. He would push the reform in the parliament. As far as you can see how the situation will evolve,
Kun Pita and Move Forward want to bring the unspeakable into the open. And how they handle that, because it's a political sensitive subject, requires a lot of maturity, because on the one hand, yes, they've promised their constituency that they want to address this issue, but they're dealing with a country, they're going to deal with a lot of objections. I mean, I can't see, for instance, the 250 senators, which essentially is a proxy military party, are just going to stand aside and support this venture. So we very well see the Senate objecting to this move by Move Forward, and they may have to negotiate this very sensitive transition and also dealing with a very politically sensitive issue.
Marwan, you said this is time that Thai people should celebrate. It's time for celebration for the whole country. And if you look at Thailand from regional perspective, what's the position of Thailand at this very juncture?
I mean, just look at the positive message this gives the world, right? In mainland Southeast Asia, until this election, mainland Southeast Asia was like a democratic dark hole. You had the oppressive, ruthless regime in Myanmar. You have a one-party autocratic state run by Prime Minister Hun Sen. You have two communist parties in Laos and Vietnam, where no kind of free space for freedom of expression, for civil space to flourish was possible. Thailand was also a borderline in that case, because if you look at the shrinking of civil space during the 10 years of Prime Minister Prayut, it was not promising for democracy. But overnight, these two parties, certainly led by Move Forward, have raised the bar and offered a lot of promise. And there's something else we should not lose sight of. In fact, at the expense of poor Thai, it's almost like we are witnessing a handing of the baton, a changing of the guard from an old way of democratic, pro-democracy parties, which was more populist and centrist poor Thai, to a progressive liberal party full of promise led by Move Forward, which should offer a wonderful lesson for young people around the world. If you want to organize, if you want to change politics in your country, Thailand offers a wonderful example at this point in time.
คุณมาวันฉายภาพสถานการณ์การเลือกตั้งในไทยและเทียบกับประเทศอื่นๆในเอเชียตะวันออกเฉียงใต้นะคะ